Hello. I've gone and done it. What have I done? Well, I've read another novel. Typical, isn't it? Yeah. Kind of do that a lot. But books are magic. Why do I say that particular phrase? It's because the writer of this book that I really liked, actually, is called Emma Straub, and it's called American Fantasy, and she owns a bookstore called Books Are Magic in Brooklyn. It says at the end of the book, I haven't visited Books Are Magic myself, even though I live in New York City. I just looked it up on the map. It's in Cobble Hill, so maybe I'll go by there sometime and check it out. So this was a library book. I didn't buy it at Books Are Magic. It's a new book. Came out in the spring, and I really liked it. As I said that already before. So it is about a cruise ship. And oh, where did I decide to read this book? It was on. There was an article about it in The Guardian, or something mentioned in The Guardian. So I just got in the library and said, I think I'll read that. So what goes on in the book is we have a boy band from the 80s, five men who are now in their 50s or 50-ish or whatever, who are have this gig of doing a tour, a 4-day tour, going to like the Bahamas and back from Miami with a gaggle of fans. So it's one of these things where you go on a tour with a band or with musicians some sort, and maybe you meet the band and things like that. So we have a kind of all-woman group of fans who are going on this trip, this little weekend with with the boys who are now men, and I thought it was really good. I mean, I'm kind of interested in the tour thing, certainly interested in the showbiz thing, and the parts of it that was quite interesting to me is that it has very much about it. There's this theme of doing something when you're younger. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately, as I'm not younger anymore, about things that you kind of lock into when you're very young. And in the case of this boy band, they have great big success in the 80s when they're very, very young, like teens or like early 20s, whatever. So they have this big success, and they have are now kind of doing these. They broke up for a while and then they're back together and they're doing this sort of thing, which brings in like, I don't know, it was like 4 million, no, whatever, a few $1,000,000, a couple $1,000,000 that they'd have to split between them. So it was really a fun book, actually. We meet Annie, whose sister has broken her leg. Her sister is really the big fan of the band. Annie was just a little bit too old for that, but still liked them and had, like her favorite and so forth. But her sister was really the one that wanted to go, but she broke her leg, so she couldn't go. So Annie goes by herself on this strange voyage. And she meets a woman named Mara, who is her roommate, and Mara is experienced. She's done this before, and so she takes Annie, trots Annie along with her and shows her the ropes of how to experience this thing to the fullest. The band has to go through several things along the trip. They have to do a photo night. They do a concert. They do a photo night. The photo night it's photo day, actually, because it takes hours, because all the fans, basically women, are escorted up onto a stage where the men are, and they get to have a brief chat, and of course they hug everyone, and they get their picture taken with the band, and so and decide which one they want to stand beside. I guess the picture is that there's 5 of the boys, men, and so five of the guests are going to come up and each stand beside their favorite of the performers. So we meet the performers too. We meet Keith is kind of the primary one who we get to know mostly, because he's one of the singers. A couple of them don't really sing all that well, but Keith and I guess Corey are the main voices of the band, the ones who are really the lead singers and the good singers. And everybody else kind of is there as well, and they do choreography and all that, and they wear matching costumes. And we meet their manager Bobby, and we meet this sort of guy that Jonathan, two of the Keith and Sean are brothers, so they have brother sort of things going on anyway. And Sean, the brother, is always kind of pushing Keith into doing more things, and he's brought along this weird guy who has a long beard and is like doing all this sort of meditative things and all that kind of stuff. And he's kind of a promoter too, and so he's kind of moving in on the job that Bobby has. And well, anyway, it's a lot of details that you don't really need to know right now from me. If you want to get into the book, you can find out these things for yourself, and it's a worthwhile read. It's also something that seems like could have been adaptable to a film or series, because it's all kind of contained on the boat. Let's see. Oh, there's also Sarah, who is a main player here. Sarah is kind of in charge of the crew. She's works for Jackrabbit, I think is the name of the company that handles this sort of tour thing. So she has to keep everything flowing, has to like make sure the band is in position, everything's working out right. She has sort of a staff. So so there there's the desires of these people, there's the behavior of the women, there's a lot of drinking going on. There's we go through all the events, the photo day. Oh, they have a beach day when they finally go to where they play volleyball on the beach, and there's a karaoke day. There's a concert of the band on one night, and there's a concert of Corey by himself on another night, because Corey's kind of a star. Corey's been in movies, and Corey has done sings like Broadway tunes and all that kind of stuff. So Corey is kind of the one of the group who stepped away and done other things, have been in movies and so on and so forth. But he's back with the band now for this thing. So what I took away from it for myself personally, as someone who has also been involved, really peripherally and not any way to the degree that these people, as far as the music business goes. I was, I'm a guitar player and a singer, and I was in a band once that had sort of limited success, and I was. It's called Jolly Ramey, and I'll put the link to Jolly Ramey in the descriptions if you want to look at that stuff. That's what I did in the 80s. It wasn't a boy band. It was more of an indie band with when I met a brilliant female songwriter, and mostly sang her songs because they were so great. And I got to singing, and she played the guitar, and we had other players who came in and out, and made some recordings, and it was pretty good. So and played on the radio a few times. But so now what this means to me is the whole thing about Keith in the band is he kind of has had it. He wants to he you know, he has a hard time going on this boat, going on this tour. His marriage is cold. You know, he has a wife, but she doesn't seem to be interested in him at all. He has a daughter. He has some sort of a life. He lives in Bergen, New Jersey, where the band, where he and his brother were from, and so he's kind of over it. And so that's kind of the part that really locked in with me and was interesting to me. In that, you know, what do you do if you find that you did something when you were very young, and then it's kind of like, why am I still doing this? And so that's sort of the situation with me, who's, you know, really interested in all these books and reading and things like that. And yet, what are my sort of skill sets? Well, I can play the guitar, sort of, and I can sing, like, pretty well, I think, but, you know, kind of an old-fashioned style. And, you know, I've been thinking, like, well, you know, I'm kind of getting tired of what I've been doing for a living, which is modeling, which has been great, art modeling. But thinking, you know, maybe I want to do something, you know, maybe I just want to stop is really what it is. And so I related to the Keith character in that, you know, doing something when, finding something to do when you're really young. And, you know, these things are like playing the guitar and singing and thinking you wanted to be like like Frank Sinatra or something, or Phil Oakes, with models in my case. You know, it becomes silly as you get older, and like here I am at 75 years old, and or 74. Let's not rush it. And so I, you know, why I thinking like maybe I could start busking to make a little bit of money if I don't want to model anymore, and I like. Do I really want to put myself in front of people, shove my ass in front of people, shove my noise in front of people, like on subway platforms or wherever, and expect them to give me money? And you know, it would work a little bit, but it's like, you know, I kind of just want to just, you know, I like playing in my room for myself, and it's probably good for me to sing, good for my body and good for my spirit in a certain sense. A therapist I once talked to, she thought I should sing, thought singing was good, and maybe singing is good. Yeah, the last book I read was about Stephen Sondheim, and Stephen Sondheim pops up in this book from time to time. So yeah, it's really good. And the end and the acknowledgments, she, you know, I wondered what, you know, where all this is from, and apparently she had see, and most of all, who she's acknowledging, she acknowledges people who have been in fame and in show business somehow. Susanna Hoffs, which I didn't know who that was, and it turns out she was a Bengal. And Kerry Russell was the actress, and Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's a showbiz Broadway guy. And then Joe McIntyre, most of all, she says Joe McIntyre, for surpassing 35 years of expectation with grace, humor, and friendship. So Joe McIntyre was in a boy band. I had to look this up. I didn't know. So he was in a very successful boy band, and he's kind of like it seems like he's kind of like the Corey character in the book, in that he's had other success in movies and so forth. So I think it's, you know, there's a certain realism about this, and that I thought was really good. I really enjoyed the novel. It was very fun and interesting. The cruise business is interesting because there's a girl I know, well, a young woman who's 25, who I used to babysit when she was a baby, and now she's 25, and she is, for several years now, has been a performer on one of these cruise lines. So just one of the she's not a star; she's one of the regular performers. And so I see all these things pop up, like there's like a rock and roll camp tour where you can hang out with the stars and jam, and that's that kind of stuff. And it's this kind of parasocial stuff with people who are you see through screens. It's easy to get wrapped up in it, and then feel kind of like if you think about it, it's a little icky. Like my last go with parasocial stuff was kind of with streamers more. Like I sort of met one streamer, kind of political show that I've been liking, and but really it's the parasocial thing that comes from media. Like I might think he's my friend, but he's not. He probably doesn't even subscribe to the channel. So it's the weirdness of media that is looked at in this book as well, and I thought that was really very good, and I liked the way she handled it. I liked the characters she presented. They're different in certain sort of ways. Where Sarah is actually lesbian, and she's had trouble with her both Sarah and Annie have things. Annie is the one with the sister who's come on the boat, and she has quite an adventure with this. So she has the most positive experience of anyone really on this tour, where she was not, I don't know if I wanted to do this after my sister couldn't come, and so that was a really really a good thing, and I liked the book, and Emma Straub, American Fantasy, and I think that's where I'll leave it. Okay.